Hey everybody, sorry for the lack of videos. Not a lot of people watch my videos with almost 200 subscribers. Anyways, let's get to the video right now. Tomorrow is going to be the massive No Kings protest. You know, prior to the first No Kings protest on June 14th when nobody came to Donald Trump's birthday. You know, I think Trump is a lunatic when he spends millions of dollars for a birthday parade, but nobody came. And he cried due to not only the mass protesting, but celebrating the 250th anniversary of the US Army. Let's go to that video.
In 1914, years of escalating competition between European alliances culminate in the outbreak of the First World War. The two sides engage in the savage war of attrition, defined by opposing trenches, barbed wire, poison gas, and mass casualties. The United States initially maintained its neutrality, but was eventually drawn into the conflict in 1917. Despite having less than 130,000 soldiers at the beginning, the Army eventually grew to over 4 million, with nearly 2 million soldiers serving in Europe. In 6 months of fighting, nearly 50,000 Americans lost their lives, with another 190,000 wounded. The guns fell silent with the armistice of November 11th, 1918. We continue on with more USA World War I rolling stock. This 1918 Dodge touring car was part of the legendary 1919 Transcontinental Convoy. 3,251 miles and 62 grueling days across the Lincoln Highway. And remember, no pavement, no GPS, and no power steering. Just grit, determination, and the drive to push Army mobility.
So yeah, that's the video where he was depressed on his birthday when nobody came. Not to mention, many people in support of Trump claim that Trump is not a dictator. Well, if Trump is not a dictator, how come is he using the same statistics when Kim Jong-un released his birthday parade? I think Trump wants to identify with dictators so bad. Right after the No Kings protest concluded, many Trump supporters made this video.
No, the No Kings protest was, look at me, I don't have a job, and I just don't like Trump.
Says the guy filming a TikTok video on a Tuesday workday. Also, the January 6th insurrection was incited by Donald Trump. January 6th, 2021 was on a Wednesday workday, and the No Kings protest was on a Saturday, just like coming up with tomorrow, because Saturday is the majority of no workday. Not to mention, Donald Trump made a post on Truth Social making false accusations that Joe Biden placed 274 FBI agents into the crowd on January 6th. Did you know every year after the presidential election, they get sworn in office on January 20th. And who was president on January 6th? You guessed it, Donald Trump. Joe Biden wasn't president until January 20th, 13 days later. Now the Trump supporters will believe him? I think so, because they will believe any of his words or false accusations that he's ever said without a second thought. Also, if you want to see that Truth Social post, link in the description. Also, one of the phrases on Donald Trump's Truth Social post just said, do something. That's what he would have said if he wasn't president. Donald Trump has been making false accusations against somebody he doesn't like and trying to make him like he's a victim there, when we have seen his wrongdoings every other day except his Trump supporters. But the people who are very hard on the side is the MAGA cult. And of course, you would think that Democratic influencer and commentator Harry Sisson right there might be in the cult, because he does love Joe Biden so much. Also, when we've seen his other videos that he hasn't worn a Joe Biden t-shirt or a Kamala Harris's hat, him other than the massive Trump supporters who wear MAGA hats and MAGA merchandise every single day on their videos. Which is why many Americans are gathering and advocating for the No Kings protest upcoming Saturday, because this country has no place for a close-up dictator. I mean, we've seen Donald Trump's AI video of his lack of character. Let's go to that video. Keep that in mind, this was posted on his Truth Social account. that video indicates that Trump has a lack of character. Trump is part of Project 2025. However, MAGA will still support this in a huge, weird way. And I would expect that video coming from a comedian or a pop star that does with their free time and does a lot of trolling, not from the presidents of the United States. And which is why we're all gathering up for another massive No Kings protest. And yeah, as you would expect, MAGA will come at you and tell you that you do not have a job, you have TDS, or some of the things that MAGA thinks that you have. MAGA, we are not more beholden to the man or other presidents. We are more beholden to the country. And every time we criticize your daddy, you will get so defensive and say you have TDS. And you'll see we will never defend Bill Clinton for being in the Epstein files. No matter who is in the Epstein files, Republicans, Democrats, billionaires, pop stars, or many more need to be held accountable. No matter who. That's why we need the Epstein files. Whole 100%. But why is it every time that people protest, MAGA accuses them of not having jobs? One time Donald Trump accused Obama of starting war with Iran when he didn't do that. But he did the same things on his first term and second terms, the same things that he accused Obama of. Every single thing they accuse people of doing is exactly what they're doing. And that's exactly why people all over America are gathering and starting the No Kings protest again. And before I end this video on my thoughts on the No Kings protest, release the Epstein files, Donald Trump. Release the Epstein files. You can fool us once, you can fool us twice, but you won't be able to distract us. For those who have independent and critical thinking, you can distract your supporters, but you can't distract independent thinkers. Once again, release the Epstein files. Thank you guys for watching my video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys until the next video on the Muscab Issa Mohamud show.